Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. And so it was recently leaked, that the next champions coming, so the new champs for December, are going to be the MCU Scarlet Witch and Spider-Ham. And at first when I heard this, I was like, really? Like, okay, here we go. And it got me thinking, we just had not necessarily reskins, because they're not really reskins, they're just different versions of the same character, right? So we just had Immortal A-Bomb and Immortal Hulk. And now we're getting essentially another Spider-Verse character, another Spider-Man, even though he's Spider-Ham, and another Scarlet Witch. Now, granted, this is the MCU version, but it got me thinking, there are a ton of characters in the comics, and I feel like Kabam is kind of dropping the ball here. I feel like they're kind of being a bit lazy. So if you guys don't know, there is a website where you can go ahead and vote for, you know, the champions that we want to see in the game. And a lot of them are really well-known characters. You got Quicksilver, Sandman, Mystique, Adam Warlock, Beta Ray Bill, Kabam. Why would you not add Beta Ray Bill next month? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I understand that they said this year was the year of obscure champions, and we got some pretty obscure ones, right? We got Mojo, we got Hitmonkey, but then you have someone like the Immortal Hulk. Now, the Immortal Hulk storyline isn't necessarily as old as some of the other comic story arcs that we all know and love, right? The Immortal Hulk actually didn't make his appearance, or Devil Hulk, that's the Immortal Hulk storyline didn't come about until 2016. So it's only about 4 years old. Whereas you have some of these other storylines, I mean, Kitty Pryde, come on, Kabam, when are we gonna get Kitty Pryde and Lockheed? I mean, hello, a baby dragon? And I had a lot of high hopes for Kabam, you know, when they introduced the vote for the next champion poll, right? Because we had some doozies on there. We had Dazzler, Morgan Le Fay, I mean, Morbius. There were some really good ones on there, Omega Sentinel. And so that made me get really excited. Like, yes, finally, we're gonna get some really awesome champs from the comics. Like, Kabam's gonna do some really cool stuff here. And then they released the info, well, they didn't release it, it was leaked, that it was gonna be Spider-Ham and MCU Scarlet Witch. Now, I can understand the MCU Scarlet Witch because of the whole WandaVision show coming on Disney+. But it still makes me a little bit sad, and it still makes me feel like Kabam is being a bit lazy when it comes to designing or coming up with champions to do, because I know a lot of people have been asking for a lot of these champs. Kraven the Hunter, they could have introduced Kraven the Hunter with Tigra, and that would have been epic. I know a lot of people would have been excited. A lot of people have been wanting to see Kraven the Hunter. Him and Tigra have a big storyline, so I mean, that would have been perfect. Now, of course, Morbius is on the poll. And then, of course, we've got Odin Borson, Black Cat. I can't tell if they're going to introduce a Spider-Verse character. Why not introduce Black Cat or Silver Sable? Someone like that instead of, well, Spider-Ham. Instead of introducing another version of a Spider-Man, why not just buff one of the old ones? I know the Spider-Man PS4 game has recently come out, and of course it is focused around Miles Morales. And a lot of people have been asking for a slight Miles Morales buff. And I think that would have been a really cool thing to do, especially with the game dropping. So I feel like Kabam kind of missed the mark on that a little bit as well, because honestly, Miles Morales, he really needs he doesn't need a rework, but he could use a Falcon or Gambit type buff added to him. I think that would make him a lot more fun to play and give him some more utility instead of just being another pain in the butt of Vader. So there are a lot of champions on here. Jubilee, Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger would actually be something really cool because they could introduce both champions that month. Right? So they can necessarily kill two birds with one stone. Well, not really, but so hear me out on this. But the synergy that they could have together would make them super powerful. They might not be great on their own, but when you add them to the team, they synergize each other. So I think adding Cloak and Dagger would have been an excellent opportunity for the month of December. Now, they could have even added Valkyrie. I would have preferred the Broomhild version, but hey, maybe once Thor Love and Thunder comes out, we will get Valkyrie. Now, with the way things are going, when Thor Love and Thunder comes out, I have a feeling we're going to get another version of Thor Jane Foster. Instead of maybe just buffing the original Thor Jane Foster and adding someone else from that movie. That's what I would really like to see. Now, of course, Galactus is on here, and there's been rumors that, hey, maybe he's gonna come to the game and maybe he's not. We don't really know. That ship has kind of teetered off a little bit, hasn't it? And then, of course, Bullseye. How can anyone forget Bullseye? And I was really thinking with, you know, when Daredevil season 3 was out that we were gonna get Bullseye, but we didn't. So I feel like Kabam needs to maybe work a little bit around with when certain things are put out into the ether, or, you know, maybe start to listen to the wants of the people a little bit more when it comes to these champions. If they want to do some obscure champions, that's fine and dandy. There are a ton, but don't just give us the same, or just don't just give us different versions of the same champ. How many Spider-Men do we have? A lot, right? We've got Cosmic Spidey, OG Spidey, Stark Spidey, Stealth Suit Spidey, Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales. I mean, there are a lot of Spider champions. So I really think if they wanted to introduce another Spider champ, they could have introduced, you know, Spider-Man 2099 or, you know, something along those lines. I think that would have been maybe better than Spider-Ham. But then again, I don't want to see any more Spider-Verse champs. I don't want to see any more Spider-Verse champs. I don't want to see any more Iron Men. We have enough Iron Men. We have enough Spider-Men. I would like to see different champions entered into the game. So Super Skrull, Ares, Lizard, Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is in the game files. So why can't we have her? She's already in the game files. Just release her. Spider-Man 2099, again, he would have been another great one. Enchantress. Enchantress would have been an excellent one to add to the contest. And I mean, we've had some really good Mystics added, and she would be probably really, really up there if Kabam could do it right. Now, Hercules, of course, is on the poll, and he's actually, at the time of this video, number 4. So he is actually moving on to the next round, unfortunately for me. Dazzler and Morgan Le Fay are, well, not. That makes me super sad, but Morbius is still in the running. And then we've got Silver Samurai, Lady Deathstrike. Oh, she would be great. And of course, my girl Dazzler. I'm really sad that she's not in the running, but that's another thing. When they introduced Longshot, I don't know how they introduced Mojo and not Dazzler, because when you think of Longshot, you think of Dazzler. They go hand in hand. So it's just one of those things that kind of, you know, befuddles me, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But the whole point that I'm trying to make here, and I don't want to make this video long because it's already at about 8 minutes, is that I wish Kabam would put more thought into the characters that they are bringing to the game. Because adding an MCU Scarlet Witch really doesn't do it for me, and I don't know what her powers and abilities are, but frankly, at this point, I'm just kind of like, well, it's another Scarlet Witch. And the same thing with Spider-Ham. I don't know what his powers and abilities are, but I'm like, he's probably gonna evade. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of next month's leaked champions? Are you excited for them? Do you think Kabam is being lazy and should introduce other characters instead? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching and enjoy this quick message from Kevin Smith.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, and if you enjoyed the mediocre MCOC video full of scrub gameplay, then show Katy some love by hitting like and subscribe, man. Katy don't ask for much. Katy did ask for this. Katy did. So do like Katy did and bug people and get you to like and subscribe, man. She's doing that MCOC beautifully, not mediocre. Katy!